A major organized crime bust, 23 people under arrest, now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI, open up! Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got the only American Pink Panther, Punch. What's up, man?
Hey, Stacks, my brother. What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm great,
right,
man.
good.
How have you been?
You look good, man. You look great. Look
Thank
at you. Oh, I can't wait till I see you down in Miami, man. Oh my God, it's gonna be such a good trip. You know.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, man.
I'll be down
Excited.
there shortly. Yeah,
Excited about our future.
Yeah, a lot of great things going on. And for the people that don't know you, you want to give a brief synopsis of who you are?
Nah, not really. It's not that important because, as I said, I like to play a little position in all this. You know, it's so much bigger than me. You know, but okay, yeah. My name is Punch. I'm the highest and youngest ranking member of the Pink Panthers, the Yaks crew, the Yaks crime gang, right? And that was based on a bunch of different people that combined into one enterprise and one gang that was very successful in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in New York City.
So where do you want to start off with your, do you have something in mind that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to cut right to the chase, and I wanted to go right to the Versace heist.
Let's get to it.
All right. Now, the person that introduced me to Versace, the label, was late 80s, 87, 88. And there was this guy that just came out of the feds. His name was Zoran Yaksic. And this guy, he's like 6'7". He's very tall. He stands out in a crowd. Very good looking guy, you know. When I first met him, he was young, up and coming, had a lot of respect everywhere in New York. Wherever he walked, he had a lot of respect because he was with Boshko. Boshko was, at that time, the leader of the Westies. Westies are more known from the west side of Manhattan, a bunch of killers, you know, that most of them got arrested and did a lot of time. Somehow, some way, it went to a Serbian guy. You know, the reins of the Westies went to a Serbian guy because he was at the right place at the right time, and he was a loyal person. And that's basically, you know, everybody around us was like that. You know, we were all loyal, and we didn't talk, and nobody knew what we did. And this is why one episode that we shot out was talking about, you know, I'm not a rat. I'm not, you know, I never put anybody on the stand. I never put anybody in jail. Yeah, that's God's honest truth. You know, that's not satire. That's not funny right there. That's God's honest truth. That really happened. But the funny part is you got guys that put people in jail, that took the stand, that took a blood oath, that pricked their finger, and they're denying it. Like it never happened. And I don't know who they're trying to fool. They're not fooling me because I had to do all the time, you know. And me, the reason why I couldn't rat, because who am I going to tell? My mother and father, you know, on my immediate family, on everybody that's around me. Like I would have got ostracized.
They would have. They would have did it. They would have did it.
Well, then they didn't have a family. Then that wasn't a real family. That means they weren't part of anything. If you're going to flip-flop for a couple of years, are you kidding me? There's guys doing a zillion years in jail, not telling, not flipping. And for a perfect example, a guy that was in our crew, Tsaro, Mirsad Petrovic, you can Google him, all right? This guy was a force to be reckoned with when it comes to loyalty, all right? And this guy, he comes from Kosovo, he's Bosnian, he's Montenegrin, you know, and he played a lot of positions. And the reason why I mention his name is because it goes back to the Versace heist. I did Versace 3 times in my life on Madison Avenue. I did the men's boutique 1 time, and I did the female twice. I made more money on the women's Versace stuff. So what I did was, to explain to the listeners, is that I performed a burglary a smash and grab, but it was done at nighttime. And what happened is I made a hole next door to Versace with another company or whatever office that was there, and I made a hole and I got into Versace, and I filled up, I don't know, 20 big, garbage bags filled with Versace silk, items, and I took out the whole store. I cleaned out the whole entire store was cleaned out, and their insurance was in the multi-millions, equivalent to a jewelry store because they had jewelry also. They had furs, leathers, jewelry. They had everything there. It was 3-4 floors on Madison Avenue. And we cleaned out that whole entire store. I did the men's once, and I clearly did that with another guy that's no longer with us. His name is Montenegro, okay? And he was prolific because he's known for doing the Ginza heist in Japan, all right? And this is one of my mother's partners. So I got with him and we did Versace, and another guy from Montenegro, his name was Ranko Michkovic, that's also in the Smart and Dangerous article that you're going to put up later down the line, when you put up Tsaro, because, those articles were popping on the Daily News, in the New York Times, like that was like front page stuff, that was going on in Manhattan, and nobody knew because you had Albanians in the Bronx, and Mirsad Tsaro, he's from the Bronx. You had me, I'm from Manhattan, and then you had guys from Brooklyn. So you had Albanian guys, you had Montenegrians, you had Serbians, oh my God. And then you had Macedonians, Italians, Greeks, and whoever else, So this is why we also go back to Joe Watts. He wasn't Italian. He was German or Welsh descent, but he had the utmost respect of the LCN, of all the families, and all the members respected this guy like he was a boss, like he was a skipper. And once that rumor came on YouTube, it was muddled real quickly, fizzled out with real guys that know Joe Watts personally, And I told you, people are going to take disrespect when they hear some false rumors about some real guys that did real time and had real money, and the jealousy was against them. People wanted to be them, okay? People wanted to emulate Joe Watts. People wanted to emulate Jimmy Burke, the guy from Goodfellas, for example. He wasn't Italian either. He couldn't be, a made guy, but he had respect like he was. The reason why I'm saying that is because my dad was an Italian, and he had that utmost level, like the level of respect that bosses had. Because I'm going to go back to the Versace thing, but I just want to touch on my father. The reason why I mentioned my father is because my father's one of the guys that weren't Italian that took guys like John Gotti out to dinner. And one specific restaurant was Dubrovnik. Everybody thought that restaurant was my father's restaurant. Everybody. Even Pedro would say, yeah, that's Mr. Stan's place, My father was heavily involved with the construction of everything, of the restaurant, but it was on Park Avenue. And my father is the guy, I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true because, they would get on top of me immediately, based on, especially if you mention a big name like John Gotti, right? So, my father is the guy that took John Gotti to Dubrovnik restaurant, all right, this Balkan restaurant, and also the place where I told you where I first officially met John Gotti when I was a teenager in Columbus Cafe. This place that Paul Herman used to own on Columbus Avenue. And my father and John Gotti used to shut that place down at night, And only people like Mike Tyson would know that. Paulie Walnuts from Sopranos, he was a fixture at the bar. And other guys in my pictures, in my portfolio. Like you're going to see guys in my book. Oh, by the way, for the listeners that don't know, we do have a book called Stealing Manhattan that's published by a major author, Edgar Award-winning author, Burl Bear and myself, right? And it's going to be a major, I don't know, a movie, a full feature, docu-series, scripted series. I don't know, maybe everything. It's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, Stax is one of the guys that's going to be breaking down the narrative of the story of the DNA of how it transpired, from my father, how he passed the ball to me, and me, I was just like, I wanted everybody involved. I didn't care. Like, you want to make money? Let's go. Like,
Yo, one thing I want to touch on real quick
yeah.
is I spoke to
Tell me.
someone the other day and they said Bosco had nothing to do with paying off the jurors for John Gotti.
What?
That's what someone said.
Time out. First of all, everything had to do with Boschko because that guy was in Boschko's pocket, nobody else's. All right. As a matter of fact, yeah, that's God's honest truth. The money did come from Sammy, though. I know that for a fact back then. The 60,000, it was paid 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 3 times it was paid. And I remember because I was home from school from Switzerland, and my father was taking me everywhere, to Panorellas, to Regimes, to there was a couple of places that John Gotti used to hang out with, and it was a very small circle, Columbus Cafe, Regimes, Panorellas was our joint, I don't believe John was ever there, maybe passing through, but Columbus Cafe, yeah, because that's exactly where I met him personally, right? What else? Let me see. Regimes, Elaine's, that place called Elaine's, Regimes, La Giraffe, Café des Artistes. Okay, I know all the spots, bro. I even know the spots, even if they went one time, because my father was with them or he was in the circle. Now, who's in that mix? You had guys like Tony Lee, you got guys like Ali Shades, that was friendly with everybody. Like Ali Shades was a Genovese capo, but he was one of the guys that would go to the Ravenite to show respect to Gotti. And they would hang out in Regimes and in these spots that I was mentioning.
And
What
just
the hell
to
do I
set
have?
the record straight,
Yeah,
that Flappy Lips there, I don't even want to mention his name, but I heard people were saying that he assaulted Ali Shades. It's not true. It wasn't Ali Shades. He tells people it was Ali Shades to up his credibility, but it wasn't Ali Shades.
Well, listen, let me just tell you something. If you did that to Ali Shades, you just wrote your own ticket. I'm just letting you know. Ali Shades is not a regular guy. This guy is not a made guy. He's a captain. He's a fucking skipper. That's like friends with John Gotti. That's friends with everybody. He was like a fucking pope. He was like a what do you call those guys that were friendly with everybody because he's a big gambler? Let me tell you something about Ali Shades. I was with him. I was locked up with Ali Shades. Okay, I can tell you about him, but I'm not going to because he's no longer here. All right, so I'm not going to talk shit about Ali Shades because me and him got into it. But all I'm going to say is this, that I know things that other people don't know. Okay, so I'm not going to just put it out there for no purpose. There's no reason for it. He has his legacy. He's no longer here, and God bless his family. But what I want to say is this, that if that's true, if Gene Borello robbed Ali Shades, I know the story from what I heard. I was kind of like stumped that Ali Shades was driving a Mini Cooper when he mentioned that, and I was like, Ali Shades would be driving a Mini, like maybe to throw people off. I don't know. I don't know where you got the car, but that's the first time I heard that. What I know about Ali Shades, that he was a mega player with the garbage industry. Okay, he had a chokehold on the garbage industry. He was squeezing a lot of guys that were managing waste management, and they even have a book about it. So if you want to read about Ali Shades, he's a top-notch Genovese operator. Okay, he's a skipper. So from what I heard, he was shelved, or he was like, put out to the pasture or something like that. I don't know why or what the reason was, but we were holding him down in the system. Okay, myself and another Albanian friend of mine that I considered my brother. His name is Victor Latai. He held him down.
Didn't you cut someone in front of him?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that was Georgie Goggles. That was George Conti. Yeah.
That's right. That's
another
right.
stiffer. Yeah, that was in the feds. That was in Otisville. Yeah, I hit this kid to get him out of there so he doesn't get murdered, basically. So I kind of saved his life, and I made him
Saved his
understand
life
that.
with cutting his face up.
Yeah, yeah. But the feds, if that happens to you in the feds, you get reparations, you get fixed up, you get a plastic surgeon, and they give you money. You know, like in Rikers, if you get cut in Rikers, you're gonna get a big settlement. You're gonna get a shitload of money. You know, there's something that we want to find out. Being that we're on this platform, I know we're going away from the Versace heist, but even though, listen, I'm just gonna end it right here. I'm the guy that did Versace 3 times in Manhattan, the boutique. Okay, that Johnny Versace actually built, and it's on Madison Avenue. There's one across the street, which is the women's and the men's. They were across the street from each other. And I used to have keys to those buildings because Montenegro had access to that, and we did a jewelry store there. Okay, and Graph is across from there.
What's good, everybody? So I'm bringing Punch on in 1 minute. Bear with it. Bear with us. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for watching. Pedge Tattoos, what's going on? Ori, how are you? Paul, what's good? Maureen, we got Ped. Are we? My bad. We got Punch in the building. Hey, Punch, what's up? Your mic's muted. Hey,
Hello.
what's going on, man?
How's it going, buddy? How's it going? Oh my
Hey,
God.
it's
We
going.
live?
What's going on? Yeah, we're live, man.
Oh man, I just dropped the laptop. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Everybody, make sure you check out this book. Stealing Manhattan is the first installment of many. And it's a incredible story about some jewel thieves. And he's the first the only American Pink Panther. How much time did you do in prison?
Oh, I did forever, man. Oh Jesus, don't remind me. Altogether, I did like 21 years in a broken system. Yeah, 21 years, man. You know, I did less time, a little bit, 1 year less, I think, than Sammy the Bull. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me.
And you didn't kill 19 people and sell
And I didn't
ecstasy
kill.
with your family.
And I didn't kill 19. Yeah, absolutely. I think all this time together, I think I got like 16 in, and 5 on parole. So that's 21 years in the system, man.
Were you doing time and then violate and go back? Was it
No,
like back
I never.
or no?
No, I never violated. As a matter of fact, I could put out a book on how to survive parole and how to beat it, because yeah, I knew all the tricks of the trade to survive.
We got Ori Spado in the house.
Oh, legend, Ori.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ori? Hope to see Ori soon. As a matter of fact, he's coming down for Mother's Day, my birthday. So hope to see him.
Yeah, I'll be down there shortly as well, man. Trying to get some things going.
Who, you?
Yeah, I'll be down in Miami, you know.
Well, you know what? Listen, if you do come, you have an open invitation to come here and hang out with me for a little bit. I'll take you a couple of spots. You know, there's a couple of these Serbian spots. I just need to bring you there because we're gonna bump into like Nikola Jokic or one of these players. They go to these. It's called Rakia Grill. As a matter of fact, Pedge Tattoos is in the building. I seen him. I'd give a crazy shout out to Pedge. Salute. Let me tell you something about Pedge real quick since we're on the live. Pedge is the real deal. What he did is insane. You could not pay me $1 million a month to run the club that he ran for years. And as I said, in Ridgewood, he was a fixture in the Serbian community. He had a social club and a live place with music and gangsters, and whoa, it was insane. So I just want to give a shout out to Pedge and his son, Marco. They got a great
Mood Lounge.
podcast. Yes.
The Mood Lounge.
Shout out to the Mood Lounge.
It's crazy for him to be operating a bar like that with all these people, and especially in the city, crazy things are happening.
I just don't understand it. Like, I can't believe that he was putting his life on the line every single day, because these people are so vicious and vindictive and dangerous. And, especially the ones that were in the war, you know what I mean? That seen action. So you could imagine. As a matter of fact, I want to bring Pej on to just verify the story one day in the future. And I just want to make a note of it for the audience to catch it. There's this one special Serbian elite forces dude that cut off one of my guy's ears. All right. Because he was messing around with his wife. And this guy, he flew back from action with a green beret and all that, black beret. And he took out his knife and dismantled this dude that's a boxer, a world-class boxer, by the way, that boxed with Muhammad Ali, that boxed with Larry Holmes, that boxed with all the heavyweights. Everybody, like this guy, everybody knows him in the boxing world. His name is Sava Serbian, the boxer. And this is just something that happened actively while we were in New York, and Pej would remember this story, because, how can you not? The guy that took the dude's ear is Pej's very good friend or commander, or, a person that was with him in action and knows who he is. As I said, Pej is the real deal. So I'm very happy to have a good friend like that, to support me and, my crazy, insane stories, right?
Hey, some of them, I mean, they're crazy. Some people wouldn't even believe it if you told them. But a lot of people have been talking about you. One in particular is Michael Francis. Michael Francis did a
nice
show.
Some people think
that.
Michael. Time out. Let me tell you something about Michael. When I was growing up, that was the guy. That was the man. Let me tell you, man. His father's a legend, I never encountered his father. I never met his father. His father was doing 50 years, in the can. I was doing time with people that did time with him, So his father's a legend of legends. So I kind of see his father, I compare him to my dad. You know what I mean? Like that type of,
But the difference is your dad never went to prison.
My dad never went to jail. Never.
That's wild.
Genius.
Yeah.
But I did though. So it's like, well, I was a knucklehead. Oh, there he is. There's Mr. Stan. Look at him. Look, that's a Giorgio Armani belt. That's Armani down. Like the dude is like, all name brands, Ballman, that's a Ballman jacket, he was being directly like tailored by Pierre Balmain, because he did the actual, the first Ballman house in 1971 or 72 in New York City. My father's the one that built it, So my father was very charming, as you can tell by the pictures. He was a good-looking guy, and he had a lot of women chasing him, and a lot of celebrities, and they wanted him to be an actor. And but he had friends like Charles Bronson, Alain Delon. He had big stars that were that loved him and liked to hang out with him and stuff like that. So
here's a picture. Here's a picture of you from when you were a kid.
Let me see. Oh wow, look at that.
And those are real guns.
100%. That's a 45, and that's a 380 or something, or 45. I don't know. Those are big guns. Those are cannons, bro. Those are cannons. Yeah.
For an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that was at Billy the Kid's, Vega Stajic. Okay, this one guy that was a younger. I replaced him. Like my dad and him, they're the ones that really had a phenomenal crew, a burglary crew in Manhattan. And these guys, the way they used to write up about them in the newspapers, like they were rappelling from building to building. And Billy the Kid, well, I call him Billy the Kid because that's the name, why not? His name is Billy, though. Billy, this guy was a mentor of mine. I mean, we went fishing like a bunch of times after a heist. We go on vacations, because that's where we spend our money, on fishing reels and rods and supplies. And we would just live life basically, after a heist. And they would take me along, they would take me along with all the, my father's thieves and stuff. And we'd barbecue and it would be beautiful, man, because, just that camaraderie that you would build, like it's being in the Boy Scouts, right?
Yeah.
5.0. 5.0.
Yeah, you feel like you're a part of the group, right?
Yes,
with all these people
absolutely.
that are
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, for example, Pedge he could tell you this. This is God's honest truth. When you watch Goodfellas, it's like us growing up. I swear to you. Even though Goodfellas is maybe in the 50s and 60s, like more like 60s, like 65, like up to the 70s. But as I said, I still feel that that nostalgia, of those kids growing up around gangsters. So Billy was a gangster that drove a Jaguar. He would pick me up. Everything that he has is like, a cashmere and name brand, and he was
Yeah.
like, you see this, touch this, kid. Cashmere pants, $300. I wear them one time, I throw them out. See these shoes, crocodile. Wow, like see this watch, and he says, "What does it say? What does it say? Can you read it? Can you read it?" And Billy's like picking me up in school in Astoria. I'm going to St. Joseph's Catholic school, and I'm like 7 years old, 7, 8 years old, a toddler, right? And Billy's picking me up, and and I'm reading the watch, and I said, "It says Rolex, Billy. It says Rolex." He says, "Nah, kid, it says relax." And then he pulls out a wad, $100 bill with Coke in it, and he at the light, he does a couple of bumps, and he said, "You know what this is?" I'm like, "What is this, Billy?" He says, "This is called white powder, cocaine, cocaina. Don't ever let me catch you doing this. I will put your nose behind your neck. Don't ever let me see you do this. This is no good." And he told me, even when I was a kid, don't fuck around, because there was a lot of that going around in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And thank God for my father. Like, he wasn't about that. He wasn't into the into that. He was into drinking.
Did he ever get mad at other people for showing you the ropes?
Oh, no, never. Billy,
So what would he say? What would he say if he saw you playing with the guns? Your father.
He would, if I didn't, he would question, why didn't you let him play with the guns?
He'd say, "Don't shoot yourself, kid," right?
Yeah. Like, he wanted to educate me to make sure I know how to load a gun and see the, I was kind of fascinated with breaking toys when I was a kid, yeah, I don't want to sound like pretentious or anything like that. I had a very hard life, even though it looks like in the pictures, when you see my photographs, it looks like I had this beautiful life of this, this child growing up with money and a beautiful home and who my dad was. And let me tell you, my dad used to hand he used to blaze me, like, you know what I mean, physically, like I was an adult. So just like you keep guys in check if they're like involved in, like, if they prick their finger right and they gotta take commands and stuff like that, they get half cracked, and if they don't do their job right,
Yeah, half cracked.
So you could imagine, yeah, or more.
We're gonna do a whole show on getting half cracked.
Jesus, because guys that have a button, you can't touch them. You can't touch them. They're you cannot. You just, that's off limits. Okay. And that's just how it is, So you have a lot of guys.
You didn't do sit downs either, right?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I make mobsters. I make wise guys break dance. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't give a fuck, man. Like, they know who I am. Like, I'm Paulie Zaza. I don't do sit downs. Like, straight jacket. And how? And another thing is, you were a witness with my mother. With my dear mother, beautiful, the lady that raised me. Opus died. The lady that did that. Introduced me to the first heist, that's Mom Duke right there. Mr. Stan, that's his third wife. That's Mr. Stan's third wife. I'm his third son. But I'm the only one that turned into a bad apple, a criminal, right? So it's like, but as I said, I'm so fortunate today to call myself a former criminal and a former thief and a former bad guy and a former piece of shit, because today, I swear to you, I'm living the best, every day I'm living the best day of my life.
Because you're free. Version. Like someone said in the chat,
free.
It feels great to get off of paper, doesn't it?
Oh my God, I love it.
Do you remember the day that you were off? The last day?
2015, May 15th, 2015, 5 days after my birthday. I was free of parole in Florida, and they had a bracelet. I had to pay $38 every day. I had to pay for the how you call it?
For the box,
the ankle monitor. Yeah. And as I said, I transferred my parole down to Florida because I was very in tune with the laws, and there's no parole in Florida. They only have probation. and I had a sweet parole officer, a probation officer, and I had a great job, you know. But what I wanted to say was, I forgot to say something that was very important. It's okay.
Stop
It's okay.
showing your card on the camera.
Yeah, man.
It's
No,
not a
it was,
good idea.
it was something. No, it was something important that I wanted to backtrack.
You were talking about your
No,
mom and your dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, mom, as I
That
said.
you're
Oh,
the
yes,
third
there we go.
son.
Thank you. No, the mom. You were a witness with something that you caught my mom saying, because I was asking her, Mom, do you remember when we were on Mulberry Street for St. Gennaro's, when we
St.
had
Gennaro's.
one or
Yeah.
two? Yeah, St. Gennaro's.
Two
We had one or two.
tables.
Okay.
Two
So
tables. And you said, how much are they? They're expensive. She goes, we got them for free. They were free.
how is that possible?
Two
You see what I
tables
mean?
at St. Gennaro's.
Every year,
For
every
free.
year. Every
For
year.
free.
That was all the time. Yeah, that was all the time. Now, the person that runs those tables is none other than Jimmy Ida. Okay. The other Genovese skipper that me and him are like this because we were bunkies. And anybody that's a bunkie of Jimmy is going to get abused, because I feel bad for them, because I really showed Jimmy how he should bid and how he should be with people and not trust them, because a lot of them were scumbags, especially, unfortunately, the white guys in jail. And you know this.
I got a picture of Jimmy Ida. I'm gonna pull it
That's a
up.
boss, man. What a man. This guy is, you know, he told today the current boss of the family copped out. Jimmy said, don't. And he did.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on. But that's Jimmy.
I
he
don't
was
talk
amazing.
about active people, you know.
Yeah, me neither. What I want to say is this: that Jimmy is a giant. Okay, Jimmy is a giant. All right, and I wish for him to come home, especially now.
He's still locked
with all
up?
these new. He's still locked up, and let me tell you, he has a beautiful family. And as I said, this is the type of person that needs to come home, and that hurts me. That hurts me a lot when we get mentioned by people, such as the person that mentioned me. You said the other day about something that happened
Yeah.
with the limo. What was that? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I don't know if we want to talk about that yet.
No?
Or
Okay.
we could bring it up a little bit and then
Okay. Well, let me just say real quick, being that we're on a live, I don't want to forget that we're on a live. Yeah, Sammy messed up again, and he got caught in another lie.
Sammy Gravano. We're talking
Yeah.
about none other than Sammy the Bullshitter Gravano.
Unfortunately, I don't know why.
He's just
he
making
keeps on doing
stories
it.
up recently, right?
Yeah. It's, you know what? Look, let me tell you something. If you show and prove to me that there's a 302, that there's paperwork, okay, I am going to question it, but I'm going to open my eyes to first, like, okay, fine, moving in the right direction by proving, by coming to light. And I don't know where you've been, lately, but somebody exposed a major figure, okay, that has 302s, and he's not an active member, okay, but they're exposing that he has papers and that he actively ran his mouth.
Yeah, but that information has been out there. It's just coming to light now because someone with a voice bigger than a lot of other people is putting it out there.
It's been out there.
That's the reason why it's starting to be like a big thing now, is because somebody with a pretty big voice is voicing his opinions on things, and people are listening now,
Yeah. And it's important. You have a very good platform. And the reason, some people were saying like, hey, why I don't go on other people's platforms, or, there's a reason why I don't, because like when I'm being interviewed, I want to make sure that the person that's interviewing me understands where I'm coming from, and certain people, they just can't, because they never been in those places where you've been, so I give you a lot of credibility, and this is why I like you so much. And when people hate you, that's when I find you attractive, because only dead fish swim in one direction. You know what I mean? Me, I think outside the box. When you tell me that somebody's a rat or somebody's no good, I'm going to be like this. Okay, Who told you? How do you know? Did you see 302's paperwork? Did you see a video? Did you hear a tape? He's like, no, this guy's told me in a donut shop. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, this guy just told me at a donut shop. I believe him.
Get the fuck out of here. Now, that's like 90% of the people. They make good guys bad, like what I told you about Joe Watts. This guy's a legend. If he's bad, then I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, there's people that are looking for clickbait, and they'll say anything to try to get a draw in, and we've confirmed that already, that Joe Watts is not a cooperator. He did his time like a man, and for people to even say that, it's ridiculous.
They should be ashamed of themselves, okay? They should unplug their show and never go on YouTube ever again, because that's major dropping the ball, okay?
Yeah.
That's not just season 6 of Sopranos. These are active people that put in years and time. And remember I told you about Joe Watts? Because, they moved me around fast in Brooklyn House and MCC. There's articles written out, but my job was just to bribe guards to hacks to get food for us, and liquor and things for us to eat and things like that. Not drugs or anything like that, just things that they have on the street, like cigars and, whiskey and cognac and vodka and, stuff like that.
I was told Joe Watts would buy cells too. It's true, right?
Listen, he was a zillionaire. Nobody had more money than him. He was, every day spending maybe 20, 30 to 50,000 a day. Every day. Okay? Every day inside the joint. I think he even owned a Chinese restaurant down the block from MCC, if I'm not correct. I don't know. We have
He's
to ask,
having it delivered to the jail and eating his own food from the Chinese restaurant.
It was just, listen, he is a giant. And the last time I told you that I seen him was in this place, La Maganette, or one of these restaurants in Manhattan, 50th Street, where I used to live. And Ali Shades was there. The guy with the mustache, Tough Tony. Well, he passed away recently, but
people say he was a great guy too. Tough Tony,
very nice guy. He was around Boschko. and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is that these are guys that were around, Basco and my father, and they know each other, they knew each other, had a lot of respect for each other. Basco, that thing that Sammy did is really bad because he even said it. I know we're not going to put it out today. But
yeah, we could talk a little bit about it if you want to. Yeah,
I'm in the mood since it's so late, because as I said, we were supposed to start this earlier and we didn't. So I apologize. It's not my fault.
It was my fault, man. I had a prior engagement. I had to take care of something.
We have something good.
Someone did a show. Someone did a show. Sammy Gravano did a show. And he said that Bosco came to the Raven Night, right? With a limousine, some hookers, and some cocaine. Yeah. We got to be easy on the wording.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Well,
so he allegedly came to the club. Sammy allegedly says that it was Bosco. Now, what do you got to say about that?
It wasn't. Sammy never came outside, first of all. He never came outside. It was Norman, the guy, the caretaker, to the club, Norman DuPont. He came to the limo, and I told him Bosco's in the limo. I said, I got Bosco in the limo. I got girl. He's seen some girls. He didn't look all the way inside. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's seen the girls, he's seen maybe, some other stuff, illicit stuff going on, whatever. But he just probably said that because he knew me. You know what I mean? He knew me. And I wanted to take John Gotti to Ponerella's restaurant for the first time, or to Columbus Cafe, to bring him, because my father was chilling with a bunch of guys and they were having a party.
Now, what was, you were hanging out with these girls, and what was the reason for you to even go there?
Because they didn't believe me that I knew John Gotti. They're like, you don't know John Gotti. I was like, yeah, really? Gustavo, let's go. Ravenite, so this big limo, stretch limo pulls up. I have this driver, a Spanish driver that I use for the heist and stuff like that. And I had two limousines. I had one Lincoln and one Cadillac. And people that know me from New York, they could tell you. Well, they don't have to tell you. I got pictures and photos of things that I've had. So it's like, yeah, man. There's no reason. You know what? You know why people lie? Because they're scared. Me, I don't fear nothing. I don't fear nobody. I don't care. I did my stuff, you know. And that's why when I want to relate something to you, I really want to relate the truth. And the truth is that Sammy's lying. Why would he say that about Boshko? Boshko's a legend guy. He would never have hookers and cocaine and come to an active, LCN Gambino social club. You
Yeah,
know,
he's just not that type of person, right?
me, yeah. I did it because I'm a fucking nut, and I was crazy back then. Like today, I'm not that guy anymore. You know, I'm not this active criminal. You know, but when I was. I mean, let me tell you something. I would rather have other people tell you about me than for me to tell you, okay? Because it's going to sound pretentious and you're going to start hating me because there's no way for me to say it, all right? There's no way for me to say it. But
I mean, a lot of your story sounds unbelievable. But ask Inside Edition. Ask who else? You got a countless Dateline.
Yeah. So much. You Google me, you will be
Wikipedia.
There yeah, Wikipedia. So much. Yeah, Inside Edition, Vanity Fair. Like, I mean, it doesn't stop, man. And I get calls anytime there's a big heist or something like that. Who do you think they call? Me.
Oh, wait. Kim Kardashian. When Kim Kardashian got robbed, you were on all the news stations wanted your input on it, right?
Everybody wanted Pavle. Pavle's like, you know, so CNN, all these, everybody, they wanted to put me on lives and do that. But look, let me explain something that my mom, right? She actually, you know, confirmed a couple of things that I didn't even tell you. You know, this is how far back we go. And then people like, oh, you know, there's gonna be people. I guarantee you, there's gonna be people haters. Okay, guys that are no good, right? They're gonna be like, yo, that's bullshit. This guy doesn't know nobody. He's never around. This, that, whatever. Guess what? How tight am I with that social club, the Ravenite? So tight that not only Norman, the person, he went to jail not as a mobster, but as doing mafia things, you know, because he emulated mobsters. He was rubbing elbows with John Gotti every day. I seen John Gotti at 4th of July, me, David Calderazzo, Mott Street, Mulberry Street, lighting fireworks against each other. You know, and John Gotti was dressed in that outfit, you know, like that summer outfit, like he looked like he was on a boat. You know, and and he's eating gyros, and you know, it was the best day of our lives. Let me tell you. And I seen his son. I want to go back to his son a little bit because this is a true story.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the other. Yeah, we can't. I don't want to go through the whole. I don't want to breeze through everything, man. Right. We got to save that.
Well, anyway, like you know, so I'm actively Mott Street, Mulberry Street, you know, and then you got all those guys, you know, from the club, from the social club, from the neighborhood. You know, David Calderazzo lived on Mulberry Street, 151 Mulberry Street, right on top of SPQR. And I used to stay with David. So, you know, that's right there. That's like the Ravenite is, you know, you're in the midst of it, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just nostalgia to be down there. You know what I mean? In that area. And then, like, as I said, I met different types of guys, you know, from different families, different times of my life. You know, like I didn't meet Jimmy until 1997. And then when Jimmy told me that was his block, that he ran St. Gennaro's in I was like, what? Are you serious? I read the paperwork in the cell. Yeah. Like, this guy went down for all that. I couldn't believe it. So he was basically the underboss, like, you know, the guy that ran everything, you know, and he got blamed for all that. I mean, it was so much garbage charges.
When did he go to prison, Ida?
1997. Oh, 1996. 96 he got busted or something.
96 and he's still there.
Still there, man. Still there.
Wow. That's like 30 years, man.
Bro, that's nothing, man. I've seen today one of my oldest friends, Jimmy Lee, with another friend of mine, associate. We were in the box together. We were never like in population or anything like that. But his name is Mary Machete, boxer. Unbelievable. You know, Mary Machete is a legend in the state system. And he went up to Greenhaven to see Jimmy Lee. Jimmy Lee got like 45 years in the state system. You know, and you have Blue Boy.
Crazy.
Another person.
Shout out to Blue Boy.
Shout out. We're waiting for him to call, you know, the show. That's something that we want to get Blue Boy to, you know, have a platform to talk. And also Jimmy Lee and everybody else. I'm
going to show some pictures and you tell me who's in these pictures, all right?
Yeah, sure. Oh, wow. Those are some Albanians.
Sato.
Sato's on the bottom with the cigarette.
Sato. Shout out to Sato.
Yeah. Then you have I'm not going to mention the guy in the middle. I'm not going to mention the guy on the right because I know they're actors. But the guy on the left, let me see. Oh, that's one of my brothers right there. That's Vic right there. That's a good dude right there. Yeah, really powerful. It's me
Rocking the
240, 250. Yeah,
rocking the Dookie chain. They
always,
they got that fake
always.
background up there.
I drew that. I drew that background.
Did
As a
you?
matter of fact, yeah, that was my job. I was drawing those the backdrops and doing tattoos and cards and yeah, I got a lot of that stuff. Yeah. Oh wow, wow, look at that. That's Billy. Oh, these guys got 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. These guys have these all killers, man. You know, I think the guy that's sitting down,
Yeah.
he's home. He went home. He's from Astoria. I think his name is Bobby. Bobby from Astoria. Yeah, Croatian kid. Yeah, these kids are doing mad time. Would you find? Oh, those are the pictures. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's from my last bid. Yeah, that's Tato again. Yeah, yeah.
Rocking a
Some
big
asshole.
Dookie
That's some.
chain in there.
That's some asshole. Who is this guy? Oh my god! I remember this guy used to abuse me. Oh my! He used to take my lunch money. That guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah. That's the way it was back then. It was very hard going Rikers Island, upstate, Federal, New Jersey. So I probably this is like a lie to a lot of people. And like, oh, the kid's lying. I was in like 40 prisons. You know.
Yeah,
Prisons.
don't worry about them. But
you know,
who cares about people? What people think,
but
man?
I don't care.
You.
No.
So
I don't
listen,
care.
what
I
prisons
want
were
them
you
to.
in New York?
Oh, Elmira, Comstock, Clinton, Cayuga. Let me see. Greenhaven, where John Gotti was. Um,
MCC, right? You
Oh
were in
yeah,
MCC.
MCC, Otisville, Federal Otisville, MCC, MDC. You know, there was a Brooklyn House. I don't think it exists anymore. Yeah, they changed a lot of the thing. But yeah, there was one in Brooklyn, Navy Yard. I was all over New Jersey, Northern States, Southern States, gang unit in Northern State. Shout out to Money Mike, by the way. That's a very good friend of mine. That was down with me in the system.
Why'd they
You know
send
what
you
I
to
mean?
New Jersey?
Okay. I had a case. I had an old case from 88 or 89, and it was a credit card fraud case, and I was on the run. The whole time that I was doing this stuff, you know, until I got caught, I was on the run. I always had warrants the whole
So
time. That's why I had
so you were still doing things as you had warrants and you were wanted.
big time. I was more intense. Because as I said, I was on a run from New Jersey, and you know, my father was like, "Hey, you know," he kind of scared me about that because about the prison system in New Jersey, you know, and he kind of like, you know, he put fear in my heart, and I ran. I went to New York, but I guess he was building a different type of structure for me to get more familiar with me being incognito, and you know, and I from what's this from 1988. 88, 89, all the way until I got arrested the first time, which was 1994. I always had warrants, and I was always on the run.
And you didn't get stopped that whole time? Or
No.
did you get stopped and you gave a different name? Or
Yeah, I got stopped. I used to have crazy glue on my fingerprints. If I would do something like a crime, I would take crazy glue, and I would put crazy glue on every fingerprint, you know. So if I would go through the system, you know, through a central booking or something like that, it would come up as a new arrest, you know, because it wouldn't come back as me.
yeah.
Being, you know, so that's one technique I used to use to beat the system. But that's when they still did the ink blotter, and you know, now they have a
I
electronic.
remember
And
when they first started doing the computer.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like the first one to use it in there, and they were like just starting to
yeah,
learn how to. I remember the ink too, though. The ink
yeah,
all over your hands. You got to use
sure,
that orange soap, right? The
sure.
car shit.
And then if you get busted by the feds, then you got to roll your hands, and there's a different process for printing because it goes to like 3 or 4 different divisions, you know, and yeah, so it's even more intense because they go in between, you know, they do the DNA, and so when I got arrested, when I was in, so because of that case in New Jersey, I got arrested in New York in 1994, and I was doing that time. My time, I would have been home in a couple of months, but I caught another case while I was in, you know, out, and my mom freaked out because I had the same lawyer that John Gotti Jr. has. Jojo Carrazza, he's my lawyer.
Yeah.
And Ronald
Yeah.
Rubenstein. So they're freaking out. They're freaking out because I'm violating my forget. I was a nutcase. I was crazy. I probably still am crazy, but I'm a lot more calm than what I used to be because I was crazy and I was insane. I was a criminal insane. Right now I'm just good crazy. Like I'm a nice guy. I have crazy stories, but before I was active and I really didn't give a fuck, man. Like I thought I wasn't gonna make it this long.
Did you have to serve your state time and then go to the feds? How did that work?
Yeah, I finished I maxed out in my state because I was a knucklehead. All right. So I only had to do 1 to 3 in the state, but I maxed out almost 7 years.
What the fuck? 1 to 3, you max out at 7?
Yeah,
Oh,
bro,
my
there was a lot of,
God.
bro, I got arrested 91, 92, 93, 94, like, during that time, Rikers, and then 94, 95, 96 was the state time, and that's Latin Kings, that's Bloods, that's DC Blacks, like, oh my God, it was just war after war after war. I got caught in. Look at me, do I look like I'm white? I could pass as Puerto Rican, or, right, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I have believe me, look, you saw my pictures, look at my pictures.
Yeah.
How, do I look like I'm, come on, man, like look at that. I'm a unit, bro. I got a chain around my neck. That doesn't look normal. You know what I mean? That's not white boy shit. Well,
No.
I lent them the chain on that picture, the Bobby in the middle. Like, I said, lend yeah. He was going home. I lent him, he wanted to take some pictures with my chain, so I lent him my chain out. Like I'm a gangster. Well, when I was doing time in jail, I was a gangster. Today I'm retired, but nobody in front of me is a gangster. Just remember that. I'm retired. I'm not a gangster today. I don't do gangster shit today, but nobody in front of me is going to. Does that make sense? Like, I don't play that shit. Like, I don't allow that. I don't, as I said, I lived a certain life. I lived a certain way. All the guys that taught me how to bid are all guys that are doing 20, 30, 40 years in jail or did that much. And they taught me how to do time.
And let me ask you this, because obviously you did a lot of time in prison, and this is a crazy question that people want to know.
A lot.
If you walked into a cell and your cellie said, "You sit down and piss in here,"
yeah,
what would happen? Would you do it, or what would happen?
I would break his jaw in like 3 places without even that fast. His jaw would be broken in 3 places.
There's
he would
two
be
guys.
eating soup for the next 4 months. He'd be eating soup like this, with a straw. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, look, they try you. Like the cops I told you would try you. And if they see they got one, it's like that Bruce Willis movie with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can't exactly that. You got to put that picture up. That's exactly what's happening. All right. So it's very sad, but and as I said, they target a lot of white guys. Because white guys, when they come in, most of the guys, I was looking for guys that were like me, that were criminal. Most of them are junkies, dope fiends, crackheads, and not criminal. So it's like, it's very rare. Like I survived, but I survived because I was a different breed. I was different. I was cut from a different cloth, raised by a different animal.
Very few that are that in there.
That had a chain, all the bids, everywhere everywhere I went, I never took that off. Like I always had it. I remember in New Jersey, the cops played me for my chain when I came from the feds. The police robbed me. They gave me some rinky-dink 10-carat bullshit. I'm like, well, what is this?
Did you ever have somebody else in the prison test you for the chain?
No, never.
No?
Never. I mean, I'm tested every day being in the prison system, but not for my chain. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I got cut, I got scratched, I got, like, stabbed, but my chain never got taken. Big difference. You know what I mean? Like, there's something there, bro. There's something there about that. There's a science behind it. People used to tell me, my mom was like, why are you going to wear that crazy fucking chain in jail? Are you crazy? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking nuts. But look at me, though. I was 250 pounds, bro. I'm doing 50 pull-ups a clip. Like, I'm a psychopath. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I used to do it. Bro, my Schwartz was ridiculous, bro. Like, you remember, like, we were growing up watching movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm bigger than those guys. Like, I couldn't believe I was bigger than my heroes.
I
You know
know a
what I
lot of
mean?
them people. A lot of people in prison are huge, like
Oh my
huge.
God, enormous,
Like
enormous,
you have no idea. You walk in there,
enormous.
these dudes are like monsters.
People don't have a clue what prison bodybuilding is, and I'm one of the guys that initiated this, fought for it in Sing Sing and in Sing Sing and in Woodburn. And let me see, Sing Sing, Woodburn, and Nap Nap. Okay, these facilities, we had the bodybuilding program. Okay, when I was there, and the guys that I was bodybuilding with, Haval, Uno, bro, they look like Mr. Olympia, bro. I never seen a person like that, you know. And you'd swear that they're juicing, you know, that
Yeah,
they're on steroids because it's fucking impossible.
it's all tuna,
Natural,
right?
all
Tuna.
all Jack Mac tuna, you know. Yeah,
Upside
just
down push-ups, upside down
yeah,
dips and all
crazy
that shit.
exercise. Yo, the
Yeah.
strength training in prison is ridiculous. God bless my boy Perico, man. Jesus, he used to deadlift and squat 820 pounds in the snow, in Clinton, in Greenhaven. Like my legs were like tree trunks, man. Like, you know, they were huge. And the reason why is because, you know, I got beat up by 7, 8 cops, you know, with sticks, you know, things happen. Would get caught out there because I'm fighting another inmate, you know, and they tell you to stop and you don't stop, you know, they're
They're gonna
gonna
stop you. Yeah.
they're gonna stomp you. They're gonna my you know, like I was black, my whole body was black and blue. Like my whole body.
What,
You
from
know,
the
so if you
cops?
yeah, my whole body from head to toe, black. I'm talking about like jet black. You know, like I had a tattoo, like a blackout, like that.
Yeah, like purple. Yeah. You're like purple.
Yeah, yeah, like purple, exactly. Beat up
Yeah.
from sticks, you know,
Dark.
and
Yeah.
kicked, and yeah, because they don't like tough guys, you know, especially guys like I don't submit to, you know, the ones that were wanted to be like that, you know, and I was aware of this. It's like my father told me he never wanted me for me to be an actor in Hollywood. He's like, no, no, never. And I could have. Easy, easy. Robert
And
Duvall was
why not?
calling me for a movie
Why didn't he want you to be an
because he
actor?
knows the shit that's going on. It's no
Yeah.
fucking, it's not kosher, it's not good. Right? And a lot of that stuff is going to be coming out this year. So now I understand. But I couldn't understand then.
So
I'm like, oh,
I got
why?
one person, Yankees for life. What's going on? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for watching. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Make sure you share this video. So you were
Oh,
locked up with this person,
with who? Oh yeah.
Shine Barrow.
Shine Paul, man. Oh yeah. What a
Shine
what a
Poe.
what a smart guy. What a smart individual. He's truly
Yeah,
blessed by God.
he's a cool guy, right?
Jesus.
He's not
One of the
like
coolest people I ever met in my life. Down to
definitely
earth.
not like I thought he would be. Like,
He was an amazing person. I loved talking to him every single day. He told me his whole life story. He hated Puffy before, he made reparations with him, but the hatred that he had because of what this guy, he was loyal to him. Well, you know about loyalty, Bill. You know
of
about getting
course.
burned. So just think about him. He was the same age, and he gave all and everything. But at first, when he told me his story, he came in aggressively, thinking that he was too good, and he started dating the same women, and he caught himself like, yo, what is he doing? He doesn't even have a fucking record. He doesn't have nothing yet. He's just running around like a rapper, in Rolls
Yeah.
Royces, and he caught it. But this was a female that told him this. Like, you're nothing. You don't even have a record. And he was feeling this female, and he was like, he went back in the studio humbly, carrying Puffy's bags, and just being with him because he was living in the trunk. Puppy was living in the
Cause
trunk.
he didn't have no money. Shine didn't have no money when he came out with that album. That was huge. That one hit he did.
Well, no, his album didn't come out till after
No, the one
Four.
the record he had.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
The
the
record?
record where he sounded
Yeah.
like Biggie? Everyone thought it was Biggie.
Yeah. The first record. The
That
first
was
album.
one of
The
the
second one
hottest
was better.
tracks that was out in New York City at the time.
It almost hit 1 million. Yeah, it was like, it was just crazy the amount that it sold. But I think that was released while he was in prison. I'm not sure.
Nah, I
think
think
I
that
got
was
it wrong.
before. That was his
Right before,
breakout. Yeah,
before,
and then
yeah,
he started
right.
going out to the clubs, and
right.
the club thing happened. He went right to prison. He
That's
didn't
right.
even
That's
get to
right.
enjoy.
That's right. Because the thing that happened in at Club USA. Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, that happened. Okay. Yeah. His album already dropped. Right. Oh, wait. His album dropped after the shooting or before the shooting?
Before the shooting.
Right before
Not
the shooting.
long,
Right.
not long before. It was
It was a
probably
hot album.
a
It was.
month,
It
couple
was.
months.
It was the hottest album. It was the hottest album out.
Yeah,
Nothing was
who
bigger
wanna
than that.
fuck with us? As the ass dust the
Yeah.
dust. Remember that?
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. So just imagine, being friends with him coming to my office because he was Jewish, and I took over the Jewish organization. I got there like a month and a half before Shine. I came there from Sing Sing, and Sing Sing was sweet. Sing Sing was one of the sweetest places ever, a maximum security prison because it was close to New York, and I used to get a lot of visits, a lot of celebrity visits and stuff like that. So it's fun. It was fun. I had a good, like as I said, like Mike Tyson. He said the best time he ever had in his life was in prison. Some of the best times I had was in prison too because we had a lot of fun. I can't describe it.
Yeah, you got to make the best of your time. You can't just be
in
stressing
the
all the time.
yeah. Ask me how much box time I did. Nobody ever asked me that.
Bet you not as much as A-Light. How much box time you do? Hey,
What?
damn it, Mandy, how are you?
All together or straight?
All together and straight at one time.
Straight, I did 3.5 years. 3.5 years in the box. I think 4. I think it was 4, but 6 altogether. I did 6 altogether. Out of it. So 10 years, 6 in the box.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? So
That's a long time.
Watch this for the listeners. This might be fun because this is how you can tell the real from the fake. Ready? You don't think I thought about this? Like, come on. We called Wendy's Correctional Facility the last time I seen Jimmy Burke. All right. And like not a crank caller, but I said, hey, I'm an author. My name is Daniel Simone, and I'm investigating a couple of inmates. That I want to find out, their background, who is more dangerous, who's more to fear. So he's like, and I was like, do you have a sergeant on deck? Because I knew how to call, like, you know where to call. Like, we can call right now. I'm dying to do this with you.
No, not right now. Not
To
right
call,
now.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's.
not now, but you know what I'm saying? Like in the future,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
something that I'm like contemplating on doing because it's so much fun. And this is where you get the real information. And I call and I'm like, hey, Sergeant, I have an inmate number right here. Pavle Stanimirovic 0385597. Can you look him up and look up Jimmy Burke? And I put his number in, and I give me a couple other gangsters that you think are gangster, John Ayler. All right, I'm gonna, and now we like, you pop them up and see, who's who. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, what happened, Sarge? Jimmy Coonan jumped out of the page or something? He says, no, he's a model inmate. Perfect inmate. Never did anything. He says, but this fucking guy, Pavle Stanimirovic, holy shit. He did 6 years in the butt. Like, it's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. The people that raised me in the prison system, the ones that I was raised by wolves, these guys that ran the prison system, the rat hunters, they're the ones that have everything in smash that came from Clinton, a guy named T45 and Dino, these guys, they started this shit from Bushwick. And they got guys from the Bronx and Puerto Rican guys to get together and they made this formidable clique, right? That nobody really talks about it because it doesn't really exist. So it's like the mob, basically. But these guys are like made guys. Just put it.
Now, what would
That's
happen if one of
that's all I'm
these
gonna say.
informants came in there? That's out on YouTube. What if one of them informants came in?
What? They wouldn't last 10 seconds in the yard. Are you kidding me? They wouldn't last. I would give them a day. I would give them one day. They would get taken out very fast.
One of them says that he ran Rikers Island, was running one.
Yeah, where? C95? C95 is a heroin unit. It's all junkies there. There's nothing to run. Run C9, run HPM, run the Beacon,
probably
run
a
North
rat
Facility,
unit.
run. Well, look, it's
PC unit. I mean, listen,
not
just
PC,
because they
not
cooperate,
PC.
don't get me wrong. Just because people cooperate doesn't not make them tough or does not make them capable. right?
there's tough guys everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter, but what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if you're tough. Once you cooperate and tell on me, you're fucked. Like, where are you gonna live? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Like, so you're gonna tell on me, really? Why would you want to do that? And let me tell you something. When I was in Woodburn, there was like 135 slips dropped on me in 1 month.
I
Yeah,
heard
poor
Sammy
Gaga
used
with
to
the
drop a lot of slips on people in prison.
slips, bro, slips. People dropping slips on me, man. So I would get jammed up, and it's just disgusting because, they have their informants. They're very comfortable in certain prisons. They have their cells. That people don't like to get moved around. Diesel
Yeah.
therapy. You get your property in 2 years. You'll
Yeah,
never
it's the
catch up to your
worst moving
property.
around when they move you.
Hey, listen, it's hell. It's hell. I mean, if they don't like you, they're gonna move you around. They're gonna give you diesel therapy. If it's in the feds, if it's in the state, they're just gonna beat you up. They're gonna get you beat up. They're gonna get the gangs on you. Now there's COs inside the prison system that are also gang members. Like, what the fuck?
So have you seen the COs do that to an inmate? Like,
Yeah.
put them like, hey, he just fucked up whatever, you're wrecked. You're not getting wrecked because of this guy. They do shit like that, right?
All day long. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They put people on blast, man. They're not your friends. They're not your friends, So as I said, like me, I was playing I don't know what kind of fucking role I was playing, but I was Mr. Stan's son. I never took a blood oath. I'm not LCN. Okay. I'm just friends with a lot of guys from, Italian guys from New York and guys that were part of that. And I took care of them inside the prison system because I'm the one that was down with the Lankings. I'm the one that's down with the Rat Hunters. I'm the one that's down with all these other gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bloods, Crips, whoever. It doesn't matter. Whoever's the strongest, I'm good with that. And it's not because I'm the most charming, best guy in the world. No. I mean, it is. I am a funny guy. I tell fucking funny stories and shit. We have a good time. If you're in prison with me, you're gonna be like, I had the best time with this guy because it was just like, I'm gonna make you forget prison, bro.
Yeah, no thanks, man.
Well, what I mean is, every day of our lives is supposed to be the best day of our lives. So when I was doing a lot of time,
100%.
I'm not thinking about fucking like, stressing. I'm not gonna let the time do me. You got to do the time. So every day I'm working out 2-3 times a day. I'm eating healthy. I'm writing. I'm drawing. I'm reading. And I had one of the best times in my life. And I know, like, for example, Louis Ferranti, he can attest to this because he read a lot of books while he was incarcerated. And you can't do that while you're on the street, unfortunately. Not only people are going to laugh at you, but it's right. When I told my friends, hey, yo, get me some books. They're like, what do you want? Skin books? Like, porno. Buttmans. What do you want? John Stagliano, Buttman. Like, what is it? What do you? And I'm like, no, I want Jules Verne. I want Charles Dickens. I want, Richard Green. I want 48 Laws of Power. I want Machiavelli. I want, you want to educate yourself. So when I was in prison, even though I might have been educated before I got to prison, I got more educated, because, it was just a vacation for me. On the street, like this, inside the prison system, it's population, it's the streets, and the box is jail. You get it?
Yeah.
So when I'm in the box, that's like a vacation from all that other drama and bullshit because I get to read and I know what to do in the box. Like since I did that much box time, 6 years, right? I'm very comfortable being by myself. But a lot of people, they cannot thrive under that environment or circumstances because I don't think they had a father like mine. You get it? For example, there's a guy that took over after me in New York. His name is not Pej. His name is shout out to Pej, by the way. His name is Pejinovic, Damir Pejinovic, and his organization, the Damir Pejinovic organization, went down doing amazing, $6 million diamond heist just now, 2012, 13, whatever, just now, recently, and after I retired. He kept on working with the Albanian guy that has the safe company. He kept on working with certain guys that I messed with, and he kept on going, and he got knocked, and he's in jail. His lawyers couldn't save him. It was a big write-up on the front page of New York Times and the New York Post, and it said that he's living next to the 1%, the mega rich on Park Avenue, you know, in a $15 million brownstone, and he's a major operator, meaning that he's generating $100 million and more. And this is a guy that took over my operation after I left New York. Like, I gave up, I retired because I know there's too many informants, and I don't want to. I'm a 3-time loser. I don't want to be involved, you know, to go to life for
the organization you were affiliated with was accused of stealing over $1 billion. $1 billion documented dollars.
That's ridiculous. I don't believe you. I think you're lying, Bill Stacks.
Oh, it says it on the book. It must be true.
No, it's, you know what it is. The reason why they say the $1 billion, I'm going to break it down real quick for the intelligent people in the room. And that's this, that when you have one heist that's worth 100 million, times that by 10, that equals 1 billion. And that's why we did 10 heists that were in the red book. Equivalent, you know, that's how much they're supposed to get, $100 million.
Yeah, but so a lot of times when you're doing these heists, right, you'll do a heist and get the loot, like all the jewelry and stuff, and they'll probably have it priced at a higher, the write-off for their insurance is probably priced way out through the roof, right?
3 to 5 times higher. Yeah, always.
Yeah,
you know that.
Makes sense.
Well, you probably read that, but it makes sense because that's what we would do. So let's say you and I are friends, right? And Sonny, shout out to Sonny Glass. And let's say me, you, and Sonny, right? We're in the jewelry business, right? You got watches, he got rings. I'm like, yo, let me get your merchandise. I want to put it in my vault to get it insured. You got your tags on your stuff, right? Sonny got his stuff. Put your stuff in my. So you got $2 million. He got $2 million. I got $2 million. Guess what? Now I got $6 million. So I'm praying for Punch and his dad to hit my store because I'm going to give you that stuff back as soon as I insure it. You know, I'm giving it, here's your stuff back. Right?
So you get your stuff back and get $6 million.
Yeah, so I only get $2 million. He gets insured for $6 million. You get it? So it's always less than, because he gave the. But it's a risk. It's a very. You see what my father did. He's the reason why he's the man, and we have to give him his flowers every single day, is because he's the person that invented this. He invented this type of crime without people getting hurt, which is amazing. Because, you know, the owners, they wake up in the morning and they open the vault, right? And they're like, where is everything? You know, where did everything go? Like, how did it, you know, so they're just like, just totally, and it's just a movie, you know, it's just a movie. And we're talking about, people did a movie with just one of these. I was part of, I can't even tell you how many, because it sounds crazy. But I was a part of a lot of them for many, many, many years. I did this every single day. This was my job. This is what I do 24/7 hours. I mean, 24/7, 365 days a year. I wake up in the morning and I look for heists. Another guy I want to mention, his name is Anthony Bonanno. He was down with me. Jesus, I looked him up in the newspaper, like on Google, and he was busted in the feds for having a bomb briefcase or something in a bank. And he got like 20, 30 years. But I wanted to find this guy because this guy is a witness to certain things that happen in New Jersey that only he can tell you, which is, I need him to tell you. Like, you know what I mean? We need to find this guy. And we're going to find other guys that are willing to talk about their time with me. That, you know, guys that are not scared. Because guys that I know, guys that are my friends, they're not scared to talk. You know what I mean? If you know, because they know I'm retired today. They know that I'm making movies. They know I'm a content, you know, that I'm doing content. You know, the true crime content. They know that I, you know, so they know what I'm doing. They know I'm totally retired. Like, I can't sit on 2 chairs with this. I'm not like, after I do this live with you guys, I'm gonna go do a heist. You know, like, I can't. It doesn't work like that.
Sonny says, "Where's my 2 million?" Punch.
There you go. Yeah. So I love everybody in the chat. You guys are great. As I said, like, please, if there's any questions or anything like that we could, you know, answer, we're here, man. You know.
And make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna bring you a lot more content.
We need to get another 100 people. Another 100.
So listen, on the next episode, we are gonna talk, and don't go into this, but I'm gonna give them a little hint on what we're gonna talk about. Okay. We're gonna talk about John Gotti Jr. and the affiliation you had with him, and we'll leave it at that for next time. And
Sounds
if
good, man.
make sure you check out the book Stealing Manhattan. And another episode is going to drop tomorrow night. So stay tuned. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to God, man. God is number one. He's the most amazing artist, the most incredible creator. And you know what? That's why I let go and let God and retired from a life of crime, because a lot of shiesty stuff is going on. And I'm calling it out as I see it. And there's other guys in the game too. Shout out to Joy Merlino. My mom used to go to Merlino's restaurant a bunch of times when he was in the neighborhood. So we're old friends. But shout out to them, and I like what they're doing. And anybody else that's making, good content, do your due diligence, do research, and do some investigation. And I guarantee you're going to find some great stuff, man.
Definitely.
And
thank you,
you're
man.
Amazing. You're amazing. This guy, man, give this guy all the applause and like, thank you, because this guy is super amazing, super kind, in recovery. Be kind to him, because he's going to be kind to you. He's going places.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
You're a good dude,
if you guys like this, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get our videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. And remember, don't be a bitch. Peace.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.